You're cute though.
Thanks. I know you're lying, but I appreciate it.
I didn't say you look cute. I said you are cute.
Oh,
You're the cute,
that's
sweet,
more honest. Thank you.
same person.
Today on Montana Danna, I've waited 4 months to get robotic surgery. I have a dermoid cyst and they're trying to save the ovary, so come with me on day 1 of my operation and recovery.
I'm ready for school. It's surgery morning. I just took a shower, did my antibacterial soap. I haven't drinking anything. I'm supposed to be there at 5:30. I don't really know what time my surgery is or what my instructions are for after surgery, so hopefully they will let us know. I have so many questions. I'm also like heavy flow day, so that might be interesting going into an abdominal surgery. I don't know, they're probably used to that, right? So, but I washed my mouth really good. I flossed and rinsed and then rinsed and then rinsed again with water. I'm really, really thirsty because yesterday was an all liquids day, and then I went to bed around like 10:38. I think is the last time I looked at the clock, and then woke up at 3:30, just like ding. So didn't get that much sleep, but about to head in, so wish me luck. We made it. We're like 20 minutes early. Hey. Yeah. Here we are.
Ready
It's
to go.
happening. I appreciate they color matched my socks.
It's a green kind of day.
Yeah. Got my little hairnet. That's fun. I'm kind of nervous, but not yet. I'll be nervous once they do the IV. I don't like that part. Here we go. Goodbye, Vanna.
Bye-bye, Vanna.
It's been fun. Got my IV. About ready to see the doctor. And then it's time to get Vanna out. How are you feeling?
Bye-bye, Vanna.
So here's the part where I show you some neighborhood flowers and give you my recollection of my surgery. So I remember the anesthesiologist coming in and giving me some drugs. It made me a little fuzzy, but I don't know how responsive my body is to numbing medication. Like when I go in and get any dental work done, they have to prick me like 9 times, and they have me walk around the office to get my blood flowing to try and numb my mouth. So my body just doesn't like to be numb, I guess. I don't know what the deal is, but the anesthesiologist gave me some medication through my IV, and he said I probably wouldn't remember anything after he did that. However, I did remember very much. So they told me I wouldn't remember even going down the hallway in the gurney, but I do remember that very vividly. I remember going down the hallway. I remember going into the room. I saw a woman prepping the robotics machine and getting it ready for surgery. I remember seeing a couple doctors to the left. I remember talking to the nurse, and I remember getting up onto the table. So they had me put my bum in a certain spot, and they asked me to scoot back because they were going to remove the front portion of the table. So I needed to scooch my booty back a little bit. I remember laying down and then asking questions, and then they put a gas mask over my face. I also learned from the doctor that they were going to angle my body back so gravity kind of helps my organs get out of the way. So they said that I might have some pain in my head, shoulders, and the eyes the next day because I am inverted during the surgery. So yeah, I remember getting up on the table and there were a couple people surrounding me. And then I remember they put the gas mask on my nose and mouth, and I remember it was hard for me to breathe. So I like physically took it off and I'm like, I can't breathe very well. Is this oxygen or is this trying to put me to sleep? And then they said, yeah, that's normal for you to feel like you can't breathe very well. So I was like, okay. And then they put the mask on, and then I don't remember anything else. I remember waking up to a very vivid dream and then immediately calling out for Andy, and I was like, hey, I need Andy, can you go get Andy? And then I remember being really curious if they saved my ovary and what all the ins and outs of the surgery were, because the goal of the surgery was to save my ovary. That's why I waited more than 4 months to get my surgery, because you have a far better chance of saving your ovary if you use the robotics machine. So I was very, very anxious to find out how the surgery went. So the doctor came in, he told me how the surgery went. I'll catch you guys up on all that later. He showed me a picture. I insisted on seeing it. So he showed me a picture of my cyst, and he told me whether or not he could save my ovary. And I remember that conversation really vividly. I also remember when Andy came in and I insisted on drunk dialing my brother so I could tell him what happened. I thought it would be funny to drunk dial my brother. I promised him I would. So drunk dialed my brother, and then Andy did a little post-op video.
Drunk Danna coming to you from the recovery room.
Bonjour. I feel like I'm wearing very tight pants, but I'm not wearing pants at all.
So the recovery nurse said that they call them little drunk people for 24 hours.
Oh, joke.
You're cute though.
Thanks. I know you're lying, but I appreciate it.
I didn't say you look cute. I said you are cute.
Oh,
You're the
okay.
cute,
That's
sweet,
more honest. Thank you.
same person. Oh, you look like warmed over death. Look at you.
Will you spoon feed me some pudding?
I'm gonna spoon feed you some pudding. We're gonna get some blood sugar going. Okay.
So they're wheeling me out to the car.
How you feeling?
I may or may not have stolen not only those cool green socks, but a pillow from the hospital. Sorry about
That was
it.
a good face.
I was drunk, but it did feel good to have a pillow pushed into my abdomen.
You're a little drunk person.
And then I went home.
We just stopped at the pharmacy, home from the hospital, and this is about the speed at which I can walk, but I'm just gonna walk around a tiny bit before I sit down for the next hour or two. Oh, it hurts. Yeah, probably. I'm dizzy. Okay, so here's the situation. I've got an ice pack on my abdomen. The pillow's kind of holding it in place. I ate some of my homemade soup. Andy's been really sweet and just kind of waiting on me hand and foot. He brought me some sips of my tea, and now he's heating up the cherry pit pad. And we're gonna like watch a movie or something. Wow. I don't know. I'm trying to decide if I'm gonna take an oxycodone or not. It really hurts when I'm up and moving around and everything's like shifting, but it feels okay when I'm laying down. So I took an ibuprofen almost 2 hours ago, and then I'll take a Tylenol in an hour. He said every 3 hours, right? Is alternating?
We're gonna alternate. Yep. So Tylenol every 6 hours, ibuprofen every 6 hours.
Yeah,
so just
so every
alternate 3 hours on it.
So I'll take a Tylenol and then see if the pain is bad. I'd rather have some pain and not the nausea and disorientation of the codeine. I might change my mind later. I don't know. You're being so sweet, though. I love you. Okay. And then I think we're just gonna watch a movie. And this will be the rest of the day, I think. It hurt so bad when I first got in and ate my first little bit of food. I got so nauseous. I felt like I was going to throw up. But once I sat down in my fancy dancy incline chair, this one also like inclines all the way up to standing, so I'm tempted to use it, but it's working out well, so I'm feeling fine. It really hurts, but I think I'm going to just be able to rest for a little bit with my ice pack and my hot pad. Did I have chicken in my tooth that whole time? I think I did.
It's really
Hello, friends. I just woke up from a 2-hour nap. I kind of jolted awake a few times, like in pain, but overall, I feel pretty good. I get my next pill. We're on a 3-hour cycle. I get Tylenol every 3 hours, or whatever it's called, ibuprofen every 3 hours. All things are good. I'm trying to move around just a little bit. Keep the blood moving. Tomorrow I definitely want to get steps in, so just getting up really slow. Like Andy has to like hold his arm steady, and I just use him as a bar to pull myself up. That's been working, but I have more soup, more fluids, and then I'm gonna lay back down. I started watching Limitless, and it was really good. I fell asleep halfway through. Limitless, is that what it's called?
Yeah, but that wasn't even on the list, so
Yeah, that was good,
it
but
wasn't even on the list. So
True.
you don't have to watch that one. I'm glad you fell asleep.
I'm not a good movie buddy right now. I'm sleeping every 5 minutes.
I'm so glad you slept. You slept for like a solid 2 hours.
Oh,
That's good. Good stuff.
good stuff. Oh, and I need to ice 20 minutes of every hour. Since I've been sleeping, I haven't been doing it, but got my standing eating station. We're having a little apple cider party. Yum. Okay. If you ever get surgery, get yourself a cherry pit heating pad. It's so comforting. And ice packs and heating pads. And we just made apple cider. Well, Andy did. And he put in cinnamon, lemon, and nutmeg.
Close.
What else? Oh, cloves. Cinnamon, cloves, lemon. So this is my belly after surgery. I have 2 incisions on my upper belly. There were going to be 4, and they were going to try and take out my cyst through one of the small ports on the side. But the doctor found something in my abdomen that he did not expect. The plan was to make 4 holes in my tummy, and what they do is put in a little bag so they can dissect the cyst and drain it into the bag and then pull it out through one of the ports, little pieces at a time. The plan was to do exploratory surgery because my cyst was large enough that they could not see my ovary, and it was very hard to tell what was going on in there due to the ultrasound. So from my first ultrasound, it looked like my cyst was 10 centimeters big. A second ultrasound showed that it was only 6 centimeters big. But when the doctor went inside and saw what was going on, he found out that what they were seeing was the width of my cyst, and the length of my cyst actually ended up being 15 centimeters long. So just to give you a reference, 15 centimeters is 5.9 inches. And it's approximately how big a fetus is at 5 months of pregnancy. So around 19 weeks. That's how big my cyst was. How has that been in my belly my whole life? I have no idea. But a dermoid cyst is something you're born with, and it grows very slowly over time. But I still can't believe there was something this gigantic in my belly this whole time. So not only did he have to make a C-section type cut to get the cyst out, but he also was not able to save the ovary because the cyst was so large that trying to save the ovary and keep the cyst from leaking toxic stuff into my abdomen, it just was more safe to take the ovary, and I put my safety in the doctor's hands. I think he made the right choice. So very sad that he was not able to save my ovary. I was waiting 4 months to use the robotics to hopefully save my ovary, but obviously my health is far more important. There was no way of knowing that my cyst was 15 centimeters long, and when the doctor showed me the picture of it, it looked like a big yellow kidney bean. It was gigantic. So they did have to take it out through my lower pelvis with a C-section type cut. But the doctor said everything turned out great. I was worried about my liver because I kept having really weird swelling, puffing up under my ribs, and I thought it might be a liver issue, but he took a look at my liver, said it looked perfectly healthy. He also said my uterus and my other ovary look extremely healthy, so that was really, really good news. He was able to get rid of the cyst and take a look at my other organs and reassured me that everything else looks great. There's also a very small chance that a cyst like this can be cancerous or have other sorts of abnormalities and growths on it, but he said the cyst looked just like a mature dermoid cyst. Once they biopsied it, everything looked great. It wasn't cancerous. So even though I did lose my ovary, I'm very grateful to be in good health considering the size of the cyst. And right now it's Friday, so I got my surgery on Monday, and the doctor called me yesterday to give me that good news. He also said it's no wonder I've been having digestive issues because my cyst was partially twisted, so that's what they call torsion. If it was fully twisted, I probably would have been doubled over in pain, but it was only partially twisted. But he did say it's no wonder I was having digestion issues, extreme bloating, etc., because the cyst was most likely twisted and blocking off my intestines. So it's been a really interesting 4 months. It's been a lot of bloating and crazy symptoms, but I'm so happy that I got the surgery done. It's over with, healing up well, and so grateful to have such a caring doctor who made great decisions for me and my body. And I'm so happy to have one healthy ovary. That gives me some hope that I'll be able to have kids someday. So we'll see. I'm just happy to be healthy and everything is good. Calendar girls. Okay, I've been getting up by myself going to the bathroom by myself. I'm very proud, very proud. We're watching Calendar Girls. It's one of my favorite movies from like high school days. Right now I'm just taking laps around the kitchen, trying to keep the blood moving a little bit. Don't want any blood clots in the legs or anything. Oh, let's stop at the orange station. Pick up one of these on my way through. Beep,
The kitchen's
beep.
a disaster, but I'm gonna.
Oh,
fix it.
yeah.
I'm gonna fix it in a minute.
I made that batch of soup yesterday and I didn't even clean up. But if you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you watching through the whole thing. I'm gonna get some rest and catch up with you guys tomorrow. What should they write down in the comments? Oh, I know what they should write in the comments. Guess what I named my cyst? Tell them.
Twisted Sister.
Oh yeah, Twisted Sister was one of them. My brother named it Vanna, so it's Danna and Vanna, because we were pretending, like laughing, like she was a twin. And then the other day we were talking about, I wonder if it's twisted. And then we were talking about the twin thing, and I was like, Twisted Sister.
Right.
So that was
The
funny.
doctor said if it's torsion,
Yeah.
torsion, it's twisted.
Then it's twisted. So what we found out is the cyst was actually quite a bit larger than they thought. They were gonna pull it out through a side port, but they had to make the C-section cut because it was so big. And it's not as big as a C-section cut. It's like this big, but still it's down low. And they got it out, but it was, my first ultrasound, they said it was 10 centimeters. My second ultrasound, they said it was 6, and it ended up being 15. And it was like shaped like a kidney bean.
Kind of looked like a kidney.
Yeah, so it was like huge. So it was probably like 6 centimeters on like width-wise or height-wise, but it was 15 centimeters long. So that thing was in there, taking up some space. And it was partially twisted, so that's why I wasn't having pain. They ended up having to take the ovary, which I am bummed about, but the main priority is health. I've kind of had enough time to kind of wrap my head around that idea and get used to it and just kind of be at peace with that might happen. And I waited for the robotics surgery for months so we could try and save the ovary, but it all worked out. So here we are. Anyway, yeah, if you made it this far in the video, write Twisted Sister down in the comments. All right, you back. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. I'll give you a day-by-day update. Just for anyone who's maybe getting the surgery, they can kind of know what to expect. I have a very high pain tolerance. I haven't taken oxycodone. I've only like every 3 hours done Tylenol, then ibuprofen, Tylenol, ibuprofen. But we'll see tomorrow because I got a nerve blocker, so that wears off in 24 hours. So we'll see how I feel tomorrow. Maybe I'll take an oxycodone in the morning if it's worse. My doctor did say a lot of people are like, oh, I feel fine on day 1, and then day 2, it all wears off. And they're like, oh, maybe not. So I'll probably take oxycodone in the morning, depending on how I feel. But that's my surgery story. All right, see you in the next one.